1 minute.
So the Screen Sport cameras welcome you along to the Ulevi Stadium in Gothenburg for the Ulevi Open of 1991. As always, in individual meetings, 16 top-class riders taking part in this one, all wanting to do particularly well because this, of course, is the venue for the big one in 1991, the World Individual Speedway Champion. There is the current title holder, Per Jönsson from Sweden, sadly not involved in England this year, but certainly playing his part on the continent where he rides for Stockholm United. There we see the world number 3, Todd Wiltshire from Australia. He's certainly setting the pace alight in every league he rides in this season. Well, the crowd's settled. A lot of people come over from England to watch this one. They also want to know what Gothenburg is like as a city, as well as the venue, the Ulevi Stadium. 400-metre circuit, which has 3 people to hold the track record: Hans Nilsson, Janno Pedersen, and Per Jönsson. So we get straight away into the action. Is the very colourful cheerleaders here at the Ulevi Stadium show the flags for the riders for heat number 1. So the riders then for the opening race here at the Gothenburg Ulevi Stadium. In red is Craig Boyce from Australia. In blue, Andy Smith from England. In white, Michael Blitz from Sweden. And yellow and black, Ronnie Corrie from the US of A. So that's the lineup for the opening race. There he is, Michael Blitz, with the very long hair. So Craig Boyce, our current Australian champion. Andy Smith, not attached to an English club at the moment, but rides for Eskilstuna in Sweden. Michael Blitz, he rides, of course, for Kumla, the league champions, and Ronnie Corrie for Wolverhampton. And the Ulevi Open gets underway as heat number 1 rises, and straight into the lead is the rider in red, Craig Boyce from Australia. Boyce leads, Michael Blitz in second place. No, they've been overtaken by Andy Smith down the back straight. So it is Boyce who leads, Andy Smith second, Michael Blitz third, and Ronnie Corrie in 4th position. So as the tapes rose on this opening race, it was Boyce who really drove from the start into that first turn. And for a rider who is stepped up to the big scene in World Speedway in 1991, he's certainly not going to be overhauled by this occasion. So Boyce leads, still Smith in second place. Michael Blitz third, and Ronnie Corrie filled in 4th place at the moment and sadly looking out of points in this opening ride. So as they come round this 400-metre circuit to take the flag for one more lap, it looks as though Craig Boyce, barring any unforeseen happenings, is going to take 3 points in his opening ride. Smith in second, coming under a bit of pressure from Blitz, but there's no doubt about the man who's going to get the 3 points. It's Australian Craig Boyce who wins. Second place in the blue helmet colour was Andy Smith, and in 3rd place, Michael Blitz from Sweden. So a good way to start any championship is with 3 points under the belt, and this guy won from about the 2nd turn onwards. There he is, good eye, Spalt, Australian champion, as I said, sadly, gladly settling nicely in the British League where he rides for the Oxford Cheetahs. Craig Boyce, the winner of heat number 1. So heat number 2 sees the current world champion, Per Jönsson, of course, in Sweden, and Stockholm United. He rides in the red helmet colour. In blue, from Coventry in England, Coventry, Berwick in England, is Kelvin Tatum. And in white is Billy Hamill from Craigleheath and Eskilstuna. He rides in the white helmet colour. And Lars Gunnestad from the Swedish League champions Kumla, and of course Norway, he rides in yellow and black. So there we are, Jönsson, Tatum, Hamill and Gunnestad. This is heat number 2. Started marshal waiting impatiently as Per Jönsson does the familiar piece of gardening. Billy Hamill having his first taste of European Speedway with riding in Swedish League this year. So Jönsson, Tatum, Hamill, Gunnestad. This is heat number 2. Green lights are on, the tapes rise, and the bike's revving straight to the first turn. It is Kelvin Tatum who's there. Tatum leads from Billy Hamill in second place. Jönsson at the moment having to fight from the back. So it's Tatum leads. The minor places are up for grabs as they drive into the third and fourth turn. Still it is Billy Hamill in wide, 2 holes in advantage. They're beginning to get stretched out just slightly here in heat number 2. Tatum leads. Hamill second, Janssen looking down at his machine. Gunnestad back in 4th place in yellow and black. But Calvin Tatum, who has had such a sweet move during the winter from Coventry to Barrack, where he's doing very, very nicely indeed. Tatum still leads. Billy Hamill just waiting for that one mistake from Tatum to come through, but I don't think Calvin is going to make one as we wait for the last lap now of heat number 2. Tatum, who recently came through the British Speedway final and is now safely through to the Overseas Championship of the World Championship Trail. He's going to take the 3 points in heat number 2. It's Tatum that wins. Billy Hamill in 2nd place, and sadly for Sweden, Per Jönsson back in 3rd. So Calvin Tatum gets 3 points from heat number 2. Billy Hamill, a very surprised and good ride from him, he gets 2 points, and Per Jönsson gets a solitary point. But all eyes are on number 7, Calvin Tatum from England, who is the winner of heat number 2. Heat number 3, and Jan Andersen comes in to ride in red in gate number 1. There in blue is Todd Wiltshire, both teammates of course for Reading in the Sunbright League. Jano Petersen, Denmark, is in white, and Peter Carlson from Sweden is in yellow and black. That's the full lineup for heat number 3. The bikes rev, and away they go from the start, and Wiltshire gets the superb gate from gate 2. Wiltshire leads, Jano Petersen trying to come around the outside of him. Has he got the speed? It's Speedy Todd who holds the pole position at the moment. Jan Andersen now coming up underneath Jano Petersen. Jan on the inside, and at 36 years of age is making his debut in the Ulevi Open, which is quite remarkable considering he lives in Goteborg. But it is Todd Wiltshire leads, Jano Petersen second. Jan Andersen lifts down the back straight, still in 3rd, and Peter Carlson tailed off in 4th position. So 2 laps gone, it looks as though Todd Wiltshire is going to be in fine form here at Wednesday night in the Ulevi Stadium. It's been a beautiful, gorgeous day here in Gothenburg. Todd Wiltshire, of course, races for Västervik in the Swedish Elite League and Reading Racers in the Sunbright League. And with 1 more lap to go, he looks as though he's going to collect 3 points from his opening ride. So the 2 winners so far, Craig Boyce from Australia, Calvin Tatum, England, and it looks very much as though another Australian, Todd Wiltshire, is going to get 3 from heat 3. Around the final 2 bends, there's going to be Speedy Todd who gets here. Todd Wiltshire wins. 2nd place, Jano Petersen. In 3rd place was Jan Andersen, and Peter Carlson back in 4th place. So there we are, the man, sponsored as always by PD Leathers, and good old Peter Johns on the outskirts of London tunes those engines for him. And Todd Wiltshire collects the 3 points, 2 for Jano Petersen and 1 for Jan Andersen. That's the result of heat number 3. Well, there we see the technical styling of the gate positions in Speedway. The chalk coming out to designate the lane in which the rider's got to go in for this particular race, or any race. And the full lineup for the next one, which is heat number 4. Well, Rick Miller rides in red. Jimmy Nielsen from Sweden rides in blue. Rick Miller, of course, from the USA. Hans Nielsen, the former world champion, he rides in white. And Kenneth Nyström from Sweden rides in yellow and black. Nyström there rides for Kaparna in the Swedish Division 1, and the home street, you could say, on home territory. So there we are, the full lineup for heat number 4. Miller, Nielsen, and Nyström. That's the lineup. The way they drive from the start. And who's going to make the first turn? It is Jimmy Nielsen in blue. Who's got there? Nielsen in blue. Nyström coming around the outside of him. Kenneth Nyström, a good ride from him. Jimmy Nielsen knows he's there. Has he got the speed to hold him out? It's just Jimmy Nielsen. Kenneth Nyström still trying to go around the outside. A brave ride from the homester here. Jimmy Nielsen leads. Superb form so far this season for the rider in blue, Jimmy Nielsen, since his winter move up there to Berwick, where he rides along with Calvin Tatum in the border country. So Jimmy Nielsen leads. 2nd place still Kenneth Nyström. 3rd place in red is Rick Miller, now trying to put up a bit of pressure on Nyström. And Hans Nielsen, which is a surprise to everybody, is back in 4th place. Well, Hans Nielsen, of course, one of the track record holders here at the Ulevi, trying to come through, and look at Rick Miller coming underneath Kenneth Nyström as we see the flag for 1 more lap to go. So Rick Miller's now through to 2nd place. Has Hans Nielsen got the speed to come through to take Nystrom as well, but it's around the final two bends. There's no doubt who's going to win it. Takes it very, very steady, does Jimmy Nielsen, but he comes up to take the flag. It's Jimmy Nielsen wins. Second place, Rick Miller, and in third place is Kenneth Nystrom. So there he is, the Stockholm-based rider in the Swedish Elite League. Now for Berwick Bandits in the Division 1 of the British League. He collects 3 points from his opening ride, heat number 4, and did it in superb style from the start. Jimmy Nielsen, the winner of heat number 4. So the track being graded, and now we're back on action with heat number 5. And this sees Kenneth Nystrom come out for 2 on the trot. He's in the red helmet colour. Craig Boyce, a winner first time out. He is in blue. Per Jonsson is in white. And Janno Peterson is in yellow and black. That's the full lineup for heat number 5. The green light goes on. Bikes rev and away they drive from the start, and who's going to show first again? It's Boyce again who's got there. Boyce and Janno Peterson, but Boyce in the blue helmet colour's got the drive down the back straight, and Jonsson swims underneath Janno Peterson to come through to second place. So Boyce leads. Per Jonsson second, Janno Peterson third, and Peterson now coming back underneath Jonsson. And a great ride from the tiny Dane. Peterson through to second place, and Jonsson yet again relegated to third, which is not good news for the current world champion. But Craig Boyce surprising everybody here at the Ulevi Stadium. 2 laps gone and Boyce leads. Janno Peterson no doubt will have something to say about it, but Boyce is in superb form. Electric from the start, and to be fair, he looks in control on every particular bend in these 2 outings so far. 1 more lap to go in heat number 5, and it's Boyce who leads. Janno Peterson second. And Peterson will have dropped 2 points if he can't make up any ground. Jonsson, sadly for him, he will be right away out of contention as they round the final 2 bends. And it's going to be an easy win for the rider in blue from Australia. It's Craig Boyce who wins. Second place, Janno Peterson. In third place was Per Jonsson, and Kenneth Nystrom trailed home in last place. But Craig Boyce certainly setting the place alive from Australia. He collects his second win as he wins heat number 5. Heat number 6, and Jimmy Nielsen coming into gate number 1 in red, previous heat winner. The opposition is Jan Anderson blue in gate number 2, Andy Smith from England in the white helmet colour in gate number 3, and there on the outside in yellow and black is Billy Hamill from the US of A. So an interesting race. Billy Hamill 2 points first time out, and if Jimmy says no problems, we'll wait and see as the tapes rise on heat number 6. Across the gate, Jimmy Nielsen red, Jan Anderson blue, Andy Smith white, and Billy Hamill in yellow and black. We're just waiting for Billy Hamill to settle. Sergeant Marshall walks away, the green light now goes on, the tapes rise, the bikes rev, and away they go into the first turn, and it's Nielsen there again. Jimmy Nielsen leads. Coming around the outside of him though is Billy Hamill. Has Hamill got the speed down the back straight? He has indeed. Billy Hamill from the US of A, of course, rides for Eskilstuna in Sweden and Cradley Heath in the British League. He's in pole position, Jimmy Nielsen second. So a good start for Nielsen, but it was Billy Hamill who drove around the first and second turn. The white helmet colour of Andy Smith is in third place, and Jan Anderson in fourth. But really it's a convincing and commanding lead for the rider in yellow and black, with number 6 on his back. That's Billy Hamill. Second first time out, he'll be on 5 if he can hold on to this one. And Jimmy Nielsen is out of the race with engine problems. He was holding second place at the problems at the time, so Andy Smith comes through to second place, and Jan Anderson through to third, as we're now on the last lap of heat number 6. And surely Billy Hamill has just got to go around these final 2 turns. He's got a hell of a lead. Billy Hamill round the final 2 bends of the Ulevi Open in heat number 6. He collects the 3 points as Hamill wins. Second place for Andy Smith, but a long, long way behind. And Jan Anderson finishes in third place. So Billy Hamill, there he is, a likeable character, one of the nicest people in Speedo at the moment. He gets the 3 points as Jimmy Nielsen pushes that machine back to the pits, cursing his luck, no doubt. He was set for 2 points in that outing. But it's Billy Hamill who wins heat number 6. Heat number 7, and there we see Speedy Todd Wiltshire, number 11 on his collar. He rides in the red helmet colour, gate number 1. Rick Miller is in blue in gate number 2. In white, in gate 3, is Calvin Tatum. And Mikael Blitzt is in yellow and black from Sweden in gate number 4. That's the way they line up. Of course, Calvin Tatum, winner first time out. Todd Wiltshire, winner first time out. And Rick Miller getting a very, very good second place. That's the way they line up for heat number 7. Starting marshal just asking Calvin Tatum to coming a little bit closer. The last one to settle. An Australian, an American, a British rider and a Swede in a very cosmopolitan heat number 7. As the tapes rise and away they drive, and who's going to get there? It's a rider in blue, Rick Miller, who heads the pack at the moment. Miller leads, Todd Wiltshire second. Calvin Tatum is lost momentum, is back in 4th place as the red lights go on. And we'll wait and see what the referee's decision is over the PA system. There we see the crowd, and it was an unsatisfactory start, and it will be rerun with all 4 riders. Rerun with all 4 riders in heat number 7. So the referee not happy with the way the tapes rose, or the way one of the riders, that was Rick Miller, got a bit of a good start there, Rick. Rick, who made such a great debut in the World Final in 1990 in Bradford's Odsal Stadium. Meeting this fella in red, done particularly well. He's finishing 3rd place on the rostrum. Todd Wiltshire from Australia. So here we go then, for the second time of asking. Heat number 7 gets underway, and this time it's Wiltshire who hits the first turn from Calvin Tatum in white. Tatum trying to drive around the outside, now cuts and switches back to the inside, but it's Wiltshire that leads. Tatum second. Rick Miller going very, very wide indeed, and blitzes right up his exhaust pipe, but can't make any ground on that turn. So it's Todd Wiltshire in the red helmet colour who holds a key position to heat number 7. What a year he had in 1990, and he's doing very, very nicely in 91 as well. Calvin Tatum second still, just waiting for the slip by Wiltshire if it comes, and now he tries the inside line. Miller still in 3rd place. Blitz keeps looking down at his engine. We wonder whether he's got problems or not. But still Wiltshire leads in superb style as we now enter the final lap of heat number 7. It looks as though Wiltshire's going to get his 2nd win of the night, which will join him at top with along his fellow Australian Craig Boyce. They're coming around the final 2 turns. It's Todd Wiltshire who's going to go there. He wins. 2nd place, Calvin Tatum. In 3rd place is Rick Miller. And there from Australia, New South Wales, Bankstown to be precise. Todd Wiltshire gets the 3 points. Calvin Tatum has to be settled with 2. He's now on 5. And of course in 3rd place was Rick Miller. That was the result of heat number 7. Heat number 8, Ronnie Corrie red, Lars Gunnestad in Norway in blue, Peter Carlson Sweden white, and Hans Nielsen yellow and black from Denmark as away they drive from the start. And straight into an early lead is Gunnestad and Hans Nielsen. Lars Gunnestad in blue, Hans Nielsen in yellow and black. Nielsen very disappointing first time out, but now heads the pack in the yellow and black helmet colour. So Hans Nielsen leads. 2nd place, and Hans Nielsen is pulled up with engine problems, so it's just not going to be Hans Nielsen's night. Lars Gunnestad in blue comes through to 1st place. Peter Carlson is in 2nd place, and Ronnie Corrie there as well, but it's this man in blue from Norway, Lars Gunnestad. Got a Swedish Elite League medal, of course, last year as Peter Carlson comes under this Ronnie Corrie. So Carlson comes through to 2nd place, Ronnie Corrie relegated to 3rd. But as I say, this rider in blue got a league winner's medal for Kumla in the Swedish Elite League last year, and very, very underestimated is this fella. 1 more lap to go in heat number 8. And Lars Gunnestad from Norway taking his piece of luck as Hans Nielsen pulls up with engine problems. Nielsen so far no points from 2 outings. So coming round the final 2 bends of heat number 8, it's a win and a good win for Lars Gunnestad in blue. 2nd place in white is Peter Carlson from Sweden, and Ronnie Corrie from the USA in red gets the 1 point. But there he is, Lars Gunnestad from Norway. He is a winner of heat number 8 and gets 3 points. So there we are, Craig Boyce and Todd Wiltshire both on 6 points and unbeaten. Tatum and Hamill on 5, Smith and Peterson on 4. Join us after the break. Welcome you back to the Ulevi Stadium, scene of the 1991 Ulevi Open, and of course later this year the 1991 World Speedway Champion. We're on to heat number 9, which sees Billy Hamill riding in that red helmet colour. In blue, Hans Nielsen. In white, Craig Boyce, and in yellow and black, Todd Wiltshire. So 2 unbeaten riders from Australia. In white, Craig Boyce, yellow and black is Todd Wiltshire, and something's got to give in heat number 9. And away they drive from the start, and who's going to get there for? It's the red helmet colour of Billy Hamill and Hans Nielsen. So the 2 Australians are lost at the back of the field at the moment. So Billy Hamill just as the takes one up, he rocketed from the start. Billy Hamill, who had such a great season in 1990 with the Cradley Heath Heathens in the British League, this year trying his luck in Scandinavia with Eskilstuna. Hans Nielsen, second in blue, looks over his shoulder, sees that Craig Boyce has come through to third place over Todd Wiltshire. But really, when the tapes rose on this race, it was always going to be Billy Hamill. Billy Hamill very nearly comes down. Is he holding on? He's lost the chain or something. Something's gone wrong. Now Hans Nielsen comes through to first place. Craig Boyce second, Todd Wiltshire third. And just as Billy Hamill seemed to have things all his own way, the Fisher kiss of death happens. We now enter the final lap of heat number 9, an eventful heat number 9. And Hans Nielsen, so far pointless, looks like he's going to get his first win of the night here at Gothenburg. Round the final 2 turns, it's number 16 on his back. It's going to be Hans Nielsen who gets here. Nielsen wins with a victorious wheelie. Second place, Craig Boyce. In third place, Todd Wiltshire. So congratulations to Hans Nielsen, but we do have to say commiserations to Billy Hamill, who done all the hard work from the start. And Billy in some sort of discomfort. We have to wait and see exactly what happened there. We take a slow motion look again, and there is all sorts of problems, and we wonder if any part of his body is still there intact, because he took a nasty looking tumble. Brave character, there Jano Petersen from Denmark, who of course rides with Billy in Cradley Heath in the British League. So Billy, we wait to see if he's fit to take his next outing. So heat number 10, Peter Carlson red, Per Jonsson blue, Rick Miller white, and Andy Smith in yellow and black. Away they drive from the start, and Jonsson in blue superbly from the start, now in pole position. Second place in yellow and black is Andy Smith, but in red coming up underneath him is Peter Carlson, of course, ex-Swedish champion. Peter Carlson had a rough old patch with Wolverhampton in the British League, never quite settled there. And coming through to take him in the white is Rick Miller. Rick Miller from America, and of course the Coventry Breeze. And Mariestad in the Swedish League, so a bit of a cosmopolitan field. Riders, of course, from 6 countries: Australia, America, Denmark, Norway, England, and host nation Sweden. And there were so many riders who wanted to take part in this meeting, purely to see what the track rides like if they get through, of course, to the big one on August the 31st. They want to know exactly what it's going to be like. This fella in blue, he wants to get their Scandinavian king at the moment and world champion Per Jonsson. One more lap to go in heat number 10. It's Jonsson that leads. Per Jonsson, rides for Stockholm United, still in the white helmet colour of Rick Miller, chasing him, but a bit forlorn chase now, I think, as we find round the final 2 bends. And it's Per Jonsson who straightens up. He wins. Rick Miller is in second place and Peter Carlson third. So a good win, his first win of the night here in Gothenburg. Per Jonsson gets 3 points, and he'll be very pleased with life for the moment. That's the result of heat number 10. Heat number 11, and the red helmet colour there of Lars Gunnestad, winner last time out. Lars from Norway, and along with Arndt Forland and Invar Skogland, really carries their colours in the World Team Championships and World Pairs. So, Lars Gunnestad in red, Jano Petersen blue from Denmark. In white, Mikael Blitz from Sweden, and yellow and black, Jimmy Nilsson, also from Sweden. That's the way they line up for heat number 11. Into the first turn they all drive, and the first one to show is the white helmet colour of Mikael Blitz. Blitz lays Gunnestad second. Jimmy Nilsson trying to come around to the outside of the back in yellow and black. Has he got the speed? It's Blitz who leads, and Gunnestad goes very, very wide, and Jimmy Nilsson comes through, and Jano Petersen as well. So it's all changing. A very eventful heat number 11 as Jimmy Nilsson now comes through on those 2 after the mistake by Michael Blitz. So Nilsson in yellow and black chasing Mikael Blitz at the moment. Has he got the speed? Still Lars Gunnestad back in third place. Been some eventful racing to say the least, with riders dropping points all over the place. Still Mikael Blitz leads from Jimmy Nilsson in second place. Lars Gunnestad third, with 1 more lap to go in heat number 11. Blitz looking set for his first win of the night, and it's going to be quite an unusual story to tell, with riders beating riders all over the place. But coming up to check the checker flag, it's Mikael Blitz who wins. Second place is Jimmy Nilsson. In third place, Lars Gunnestad, and the long head style there of Mikael Blitz sadly lost his way in the sport a little bit last season with a retirement. Back this year for Kumla, and also back in England where he rides for Peterborough in the Sunbright League Division 2. He's the winner of heat number 11. Heat number 12, Kenneth Nystrom of red, Ronnie Corrie blue, Jan Andersen in white, and Calvin Tatum is in yellow and black. That's the way line up for heat number 12. Tapes rise, and the bikes roar into action. It's straight into the first turn, and it is Rocket Ronnie Corrie who at long last gets amongst the points. Ronnie Corrie there in first place. Jan Andersen lifts and drives out wide. In white, he's in second place. So Jan Andersen second. Red also there, Kenneth Nystrom, who comes up around the outside of Jan Andersen. Nystrom now riding for Caparna, who of course race at the Ulevi Stadium in Division 1 of the Swedish League. Jan Andersen back in third. Sadly, Calvin Tatum back in fourth place. So, all change, all leads change in these last few races here at the Ulevi Stadium. And who said Speedway racing was all from the start? Ronnie Corrie so far been a little bit disappointing, it's fair to say, but he's going to come back with a bang just before the interval here at the Ulevi Stadium, and he's going to collect 3 points from heat number 12 as we go into the final lap. A long, long way clear of Kenneth Nystrom in second place and Jan Andersen third. Calvin Tatum is held way off in fourth. So then the back straight for the final time. Round the final two bends, and Rocket Ronnie, as he's known in the Midlands, he's going to come up and take the checker flag. It's Corrie that wins. Second place is Kenneth Nystrom, and in third place is Jan Andersen. So it's Ronnie Corrie that wins heat 12, 3 points to him, 2 to Nystrom and 1 to Andersen. Let's then take a look at the scoreboard at the interval stage here in the 1991 Ulevi Open. And we know it's all changed, and not all changed, but a few riders dropping points. Craig Boyce leading on 8, Todd Wiltshire 7, Tatum and Billy Hamill and Per Jonsson, Jimmy Nilsson and Rick Miller all on 5 points. Join us after the break for more Ulevi Open of 1991. Welcoming you back to the Ulevi Stadium in Gothenburg for more exciting speedway action from the 1991 Ulevi Open, a classic which has attracted a real cosmopolitan field. We now go into heat number 13 of this particular event, which sees Calvin Tatum ride in red, Peter Carlson from Sweden in blue, Jimmy Nilsson from Sweden in white, and Craig Boyce from Australia, who currently heads the pack on 8 points. He rides in yellow and black. That's the way they line up for heat number 13. So Craig Boyce just dropping 1 point in his third outing to Hans Nielsen, of course his teammate in the Oxford Cheetahs camp. But of course it's all about individual points tally for this one. Hans Nielsen won the title twice here in Ulevi in 1988 and 1989. Sadly, the Ulevi never took place in 1990. So it's back on the hunt for 1991. This is heat number 13. Away they go from the start and into the first turn, and the red helmet colour of Calvin Tatum leads. Round the outside comes Craig Boyce. So Craig Boyce trying the outside line on Calvin Tatum. Hasn't quite got the speed as Tatum holds momentum. Blue, Peter Carlson puts his hand in the air to signify engine problems, so Jimmy Nilsson comes through the third. But with 1 lap gone, Calvin Tatum leads. Craig Boyce in second and Jimmy Nilsson third. And it was Tatum made a sweet shot from trap number 1. Took a nasty tumble recently at Heath where he rode Gretza Heathens for Berwick, hurt his back, but gladly for him came through the British final, and now moves on in the World Championship stakes to the Commonwealth final on June the 2nd. His quest to reach this particular stadium on August the 31st. Calvin Tatum leads in the red helmet. Still second is Craig Boyce as we enter the final lap of heat number 13, and Jimmy Nilsson in third place. So riders all over the place dropping points, and it's going to be very difficult to keep tally towards the latter part of this meeting. But round the final two bends, it's Calvin Tatum who gets his second win of the evening. It's Tatum that wins. Second place is Craig Boyce, and in third place it's Jimmy Nilsson. But there he is, high school trained lad, Calvin Tatum. A big, big winter signing for the Berwick Bandits, and of course rides from Mariestad in the Swedish League. He's the winner of heat 13. Heat number 14, Andy Smith rides in the red helmet colour, so far unattached in England, but rides for Eskilstuna in Sweden. Kenneth Nystrom, certainly not outclassed in this field, he rides in blue. Lars Gunnestad is in white, and Todd Wiltshire makes up the foursome, he rides in yellow and black. There we are, the full lineup for heat number 14 of the 1991 Ulevi Open. Green light now shows the tapes rise and drive from the start they do, and the first one to show is the yellow and black helmet of Todd Wiltshire, who's there. Second place in red is Andy Smith. Andy Smith, also a recent qualifier from the British final, hot in pursuit of Speedy Todd. But Todd Wiltshire leads, Andy Smith back in second. Lars Gunnestad third. And Kenneth Nystrom back in fourth place. That's the way they space themselves out in heat number 14. Andy Smith, who is getting fair share of European bookings, but sadly for him, no British pro to come in. Just look at Smith come up alongside Todd Wiltshire, was caught a little bit asleep then, Todd gathers momentum, and you certainly can't go asleep with the likes of Andy Smith behind you. We now enter the final lap of heat number 14, and Smith still trying the inside line on Todd Wiltshire. Down the back straight for the final time. Gunnestad still in third place. But it's going to be Todd Wiltshire who collects his third win of the night. It's Wiltshire that wins. Second place is Andy Smith. And in third place is Lars Gunnestad. But Todd Wiltshire just shaking his head there. He nearly went to sleep on lap number 3. And Andy Smith very nearly come underneath him. So Todd Wiltshire, he moves sweetly on to 10 points as he wins heat number 14. So heat number 15, and there in red is Hans Nielsen. He won his third outing. Previously 0-0 for Hans Nielsen, which is most unlike him. Engine failure second time out. So Hans Nielsen moves into the red helmet colour gate number 1. Of course, the Toyota kid, heavily sponsored by them on the Scandinavian scene. Captain of the Oxford Speedway Cheetahs, and also rides for Vetlanda in the Swedish Elite League. Second gate in gate number 2 in the blue helmet colour, Mikael Blitz, winner last time out from Sweden. Gate 3 in white is Jan Andersson. And gate number 4 in yellow and black, the current Speedway champion, Per Jonsson. That's the way they line up for heat number 15 of the Ulevi Open 1991. Pictures coming exclusively from the hotshot cameras of transmission and TV media, and of course Screen Sport. Now we wait for the tapes to rise as they do on heat number 15, and straight into the first turn. It's all action is Nielsen and Blitz there together. Jonsson back in third place, but it's Hans Nielsen who holds it at the moment. Hans Nielsen leads, Blitz second, Jan Andersson in third place, and Per Jonsson, surprise, surprise, back in fourth. So Hans Nielsen, Blitz second, Andersson third, Jonsson fourth. So Hans Nielsen beginning to get amongst the points. I'm sure he won't be able to make a rostrum position, having 2 ducks in his first and second outing, but he's going to be very much a spoiler in his last outing. Still the blue helmet colour of Blitz in second place, and Andersson holding on to third against the world champion as we go into lap number 4 of heat number 15. So Hans Nielsen down the back straight for the final time. He's got the measure now of the Ulevi circuit. Of course, one of the 3 track record holders here on 70 seconds exactly. He wins. It's Nielsen's victory. Second place is Mikael Blitz. In third place, coming through, was Per Jonsson, but sadly that won't be enough to get him in a very good position. But it's Hans Nielsen who collects his second win of the night. He's now on 6 points as he wins heat number 15. So they're in blue, a change, sadly, sadly, should I say, Billy Hamill not fit to take his place. Michael Carlson coming in to replace him, the reserve. Michael, brother of Peter Carlson, he rides from Mariestad. So Janno Peterson red, Michael Carlson blue, Ronnie Corrie in white, and Rick Miller yellow and black. This is heat number 16 as they drive into the first turn. And it's a red, white and yellow and black helmet colours that fly into that second turn. Who's going to come down the back straight? Just the lead is going to be Rick Miller. Miller just leads from Janno Peterson. Peterson on the inside now of Miller. Who's got the drive? It's still Miller. Peterson second. Ronnie Corrie third. Michael Carlson back in fourth. But it's Rick Miller who's got just enough daylight between him and Janno Peterson. But you certainly can't rest with Janno Peterson hot on your tail. Otto Weiss sponsored Janno Peterson. And the Sonic Communications boy, Rick Miller, who leads the pack at the moment. Still the white helmet colour Ronnie Corrie, who was the winner last time out in third place. But it looks like Rick Miller is going to get amongst the points and put himself back in the reckoning. As we take into consideration, we're now on the last lap of heat number 16. 400-metre circuit here at the Ulevi Stadium. And Miller around the final two bends is what has been a very eventful meeting so far, with riders dropping points right, left and centre. But it's Rick Miller that wins. Second place, Janno Peterson. In third place, it's Ronnie Corrie. And there we see good old Rick Miller, at long last, getting a victory. He's pleased for life, no doubt. What a great baptism in that royal family made in 1990 at Bradford's Odsal Stadium. And he's the winner of heat number 16. 2 points to Janno Peterson and 1 to Ronnie Corrie. That's the result of heat number 16. And a break with racing at the moment as we see a little bit of nostalgia come onto our screens in the shape of Ovi Fundin and Ollie Nygren, two of the veterans of the Swedish speedway scene in the decades that have passed. Ovi Fundin still takes part, of course, in Barry Briggs's Golden Great meetings, but there we are on their vintage old machines, and the tapes rise of what is going to be one from Memorabilia. Ovi Fundin and Ollie Nygren. Fundin, of course, rode for Norwich majority of his speedway days in England, and then in later days rode for Bellevue. And Ollie Nygren rode for several tracks, Wimbledon in particular, had a great spell with them. Looks over his shoulder to see that Ovi Fundin's still behind him. So Nygren leads, Fundin second. And this is surely two of the all-time greats in terms of Swedish speedway. Ollie Nygren leads, Ovi Fundin trying to come up the inside, unless you can have a late dash from the Ovi Fundin we know of old. It's not going to be, it's Ollie Nygren who gets there. Ovi Fundin in second place, and one for the Swedish crowd, and I dare say a lot of these can't remember them in their heyday, but sadly I can. Ovi Fundin is who gets second place, Ollie Nygren the winner in what is event for the vintage spectators here in the Ulevi Stadium. Ollie Nygren and Ovi Fundin, two famous old names from Swedish speedway in the past, and I say bringing one or two familiar memories to yours truly and several of the crowd here in the Ulevi Stadium. That's just a break from the conventional Ulevi Open, nothing to do with the score chart. And there we see the pack at the moment with Todd Wiltshire and Craig Boyce from Australia leading the pack. Join us after the break for the conclusion of the 1991 Ulevi Open from Gothenburg. It's the conclusion of the 1991 Ulevi Open from the Gothenburg Stadium, Ulevi Stadium in Gothenburg, and we're just looking at the score chart and it's still all open in this one. Just two riders, Wiltshire and Boyce, on 10 points, and then 2 on 8, Miller and Tatum, and it's still anybody's championship at the moment. Everybody's dropping points, but we see in this particular heat, of course, it's Craig Boyce in red who could go through on 13 points and perhaps force a run-off if Todd Wiltshire wins his last one, but the minor places are still up for grabs. Heat number 17, Craig Boyce in red, Lars Gunnestad is in blue, Rick Miller white, and Jan Andersson in yellow and black. So the conclusion, the final 4 races, the final outing for all of the 16 competitors. We just wait and see if, who's going to take the title in 1991. It certainly has been a seesaw meeting with riders dropping points all over the place, and perhaps that's the way speedway should be. Anyway, the heat number 17 is next to starting marshal, calls them in, he's happy. The green light goes on, the tapes rise, and heat number 17 gets underway, and the first one to show is the blue helmet colour of Lars Gunnestad. Gunnestad leads, Jan Andersson in yellow and black is along with him. So Gunnestad leads, Jan Andersson second, Craig Boyce in third place in red at the moment, and Rick Miller fourth. But with 1 lap gone, it's Gunnestad who leads. Still Andersson in second place, and Craig Boyce, who would have nearly up to 1, this would have been on 13. It looks as though it's going to be all action as Boyce comes underneath Andersson. Boyce comes through to second place, and also Rick Miller coming through as well. So the minor places are all changing. Craig Boyce now through to second place and Rick Miller third, but it's Lars Gunnestad who leads. Has Boyce got anything left inside that engine to try and catch up Craig Boyce? We're on the final lap of heat number 17. Gunnestad leads. Boyce second place, and Rick Miller third. So around the final 2 bends, and it's going to be a good scout for this rider in blue. It's Lars Gunnestad who's there, he wins. Second place, Craig Boyce. In third place is Rick Miller. So a good win for Lars Gunnestad. He finishes this title hunt on 8 points. But more importantly, Craig Boyce, who drops another one. He ends up on 12, and Rick Miller ends up on 9. So we wonder now, with Craig Boyce on 12 points, just what we've got left in store in this 1991 Ulevi Open from Gothenburg. So heat number 18, Janno Peterson in red, Andy Smith in blue, Calvin Tatum white, and Hans Nielsen is in yellow and black. Janno Pedersen on 6, Hans Nielsen on 6, Andy Smith on 6, and Calvin Tatum on 8 points. That's the way they line up as we wait for heat number 18. They drive from the start, and the first one goes into that turn. They box together. Oh, and down goes the rider in white, and they're all down. The rider in white took a very, very nasty tumble indeed, which was Calvin Tatum. That looked a very, very nasty fall indeed. We wait with our fingers crossed that there's no injuries, and let's take another look. It's the rider in white and blue, Andy Smith, who lock together. Tatum come across Andy Smith, and they lock together, and Tatum and Smith down in some discomfort. And as I say, we do keep our fingers crossed that both riders are all right. Calvin Tatum on his feet and explaining to the people what exactly happened, but he doesn't look particularly fully fit, does he? We keep our fingers crossed, Calvin, that you're okay. That, of course, is the main thing. Andy Smith still down at the moment, just getting to his feet now and beginning to walk away. And that's the main thing, is they are capable of walking away. There, Andy Smith, he's a wiry old character from Yorkshire. So 2 reserves in the restaging heat 18. Nicholas Klingberg is in white, and Mikko Karlsson from Mariestad, he's in blue. So Janno Pedersen red and Hans Nielsen in yellow and black, the only 2 remaining riders in this particular race before the mayhem took place. So the riders start then the restart of heat 18, and Janno Pedersen and Hans Nielsen, as predicted, go into the first and second turn. And it's just Hans Nielsen at the moment. Hans Nielsen with a drop on Janno Pedersen. Third place in blue is Michael Karlsson. 1 lap gone, Hans Nielsen leads. Janno Pedersen second. Hans Nielsen surely will be cursing his luck. Alas, first time out, and then an engine failure. So pointless after 2 outings. And now it looks as though he's got things right, and 2 wins in his 3rd and 4th outing is putting right back amongst the reckoning, but sadly for him, too late. Nielsen still leads, Janno Pedersen second, Mikko Karlsson in 3rd, and Nicholas Klingberg in 4th place. Oh, Nielsen draws to a halt with mechanical problems as we enter the final lap of heat 18. So just when it looked as though Hans Nielsen was going to finish on 9 points, his engine grinds to a halt for the 2nd time here in Gothenburg on Wednesday, May the 22nd. Not your lucky day, Hans, but it's Janno Pedersen who comes up to take the flag. He wins. 2nd place, Michael Karlsson. In 3rd place, Nicholas Klingberg. So there we are, Janno Pedersen. He ends up with 3 points and ends up on 9 points. Not Hans Nielsen's lucky day, is it? He ends up on 6 points as he walks back dejected to the pits. But congratulations on Janno Pedersen, the winner of heat number 18. So heat number 19, and Mikael Blitz in red, Peter Karlsson in blue, Kenneth Nystrom white, and Nicholas Klingberg, 2 on the trot for him, the reserve replacing Billy Hamill. The tapes rise on heat number 19, and they rise from the start, and it's Peter Karlsson who's there in front of Kenneth Nystrom. So Karlsson leads from Kenneth Nystrom. Mikael Blitz coming underneath Nystrom now through to 2nd place, and trying to get up close to Peter Karlsson. Karlsson, of course, Swedish champion in 1989, took that title at Eskilstuna. There the Swedish title is rests firmly on the shoulders of Tony Rickardsson, who of course races for Stockholm United. 2nd place still Mikael Blitz. 3rd place Kenneth Nystrom. So Karlsson looks as though he's going to end up his 1991 Ulevi Open with 3 points. Currently on 3. Blitz, he was on 6 before this race started. 1 more lap to go in heat number 19. Down the back straight for the final time. Karlsson leads. Peter Karlsson, that is. Blitz still in 2nd place. And it's going to be Peter Karlsson who wins. Mikael Blitz in 2nd place. And in 3rd place was Kenneth Nystrom. So Nystrom ends up on 4 points. Peter Karlsson ends up on 6, and Mikael Blitz ends up on 8 points. That's the result after heat number 19. So heat number 20, Per Jonsson red, Jimmy Nilsson blue. Todd Wiltshire can take the title if he wins. He's in white, and Ronnie Carey yellow and black. as the tapes rise and they go into that first turn, and it is Johnson who takes the lead. Johnson and Ronnie Corrie are there. Todd Wiltshire in white is in third place at the moment. Jimmy Nielsen tailed off in fourth. So Todd Wiltshire needed to win to take the championship, finds himself back in third place, and at the moment in time it will mean the title goes to Craig Boyce on 12. So has Billy Todd got anything left? Ronnie Corrie leads, Per Jonsson second, Todd Wiltshire third, and Jimmy Nielsen in fourth place with 2 laps gone of heat number 20. Jonsson, who holds the key to Per Jonsson's success or failure. Ronnie Corrie way in front, but Jonsson second, and Wiltshire needs that place if he wants to force a run-off with fellow Australian Craig Boyce. We're now on the final lap, and it looks as though Craig Boyce, the current Australian champion, although not in this outing, is going to take the Ulevi crown of 1991. Wiltshire still in third place. Ronnie Corrie is going to win, there's no doubt about that. It's Ronnie Corrie who wins. He finishes on 8 points. Ronnie Corrie, the winner of heat number 20. Per Jonsson gets second place, he also finishes on 8 points. But more importantly, Wiltshire finishes in third place, and he finishes in second place in this tournament on 11. But congratulations to Craig Boyce, who becomes the 1991 Ulevi champion here in Gothenburg. And we look down to see there's going to be a run-off for third place between Rick Miller and Janno Petersen for third place. So there we see Rick Miller in white, Janno Petersen in red, the two riders who will contest the minor places, both having finished on 9 points. Rick Miller and Janno Petersen. This is just for the bronze medal here in Gothenburg. The Ulevi of 1991 also been won so far by Craig Boyce. Second place, Todd Wiltshire. This is for third place on the rostrum. The green light's on, the tapes rise, the bikes roar into action, and it is Janno Petersen who gets there to the first turn. Rick Miller trying to cut back underneath him. Has he got the speed? Janno Petersen red, Rick Miller white. Petersen with a drop on Rick Miller. Both ride in the Midlands for their respective British League clubs. Petersen with Cradley Heath, Rick Miller with Coventry. Petersen doesn't compete in the Swedish League, but Miller does with Mariestad. But this is all about the bronze medal here in Gothenburg on May the 22nd, 1991. As the dust begins to settle in what has been a thoroughly entertaining Ulevi Classic, with riders, beating riders out of sight, and it's been so difficult to keep a score chart. But it's congratulations to Craig Boyce and to Todd Wiltshire, 1 and 2 respectively. But this fella from Denmark, Janno Petersen, with 1 more lap to go in heat 21, the run-off for third place here. Looks as though he's done it. Down the back straight for the final time. It's going to be third place for Janno Petersen and fourth to Rick Miller. So Petersen wins, Miller comes over for second place, which means he finishes in fourth. So there we are, the conclusion of the 1991 Ulevi Open sees Craig Boyce from Australia take the title on 12 points. Good day, sport, congratulations to you. Your fellow Australian Todd Wiltshire, he's also doing the biz for your country. He finishes in second place on 11. Janno Petersen in third after that run-off with Rick Miller, who finishes in fourth. And then Calvin Tatum fifth. Lars Gunnestad, a good performance from him. He finishes sixth. Ronnie Corrie 7, Mikael Blitz 8, and Per Jonsson also on 8 points. So there we are. The victory parade sounds loud and clear for the victorious 3. The rest of the riders, Hans Nielsen, he ends up on 6th, and what might have been for Hans Nielsen, 2 engine problems. Jimmy Nielsen also on 6th, Peter Carlson 6th, and Andy Smith on 6th. Billy Amel sadly couldn't complete his outings, he finishes on 5 points. Kenneth Nystrom on 4, Jan Andersson on 3, and the 2 reserves, Michael Carlson on 2, and Nicholas Klingberg, he finishes on 1. Well, there we are, the king of the pack. Congratulations to Craig Boyce, who's done all the hard work. Shakes hands with Janno Petersen, shakes hands with Todd Wiltshire. They both ride for Västervik in the Swedish Elite League, and it is now the national anthems that will sling. Yes, it is indeed, loud and clear into the midnight air here in Gothenburg. But Craig Boyce, who is the Australian Speedway champion, and the first appearance ever for him in this championship, and all that remains